Hey everybody, Self-Care Challenge Day 18. So we are on 18 of 49 days of self-care every single day, really, right? Let me get us shared out. Today is Thursday, talking about forgiveness in the heart chakra, also talking about transformation and environmental freedom in the Soul Legacy Academy and Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network with Ms. Iona Mead. An environment really starts within, right? Would you agree or disagree? When you think of our inner environment, so in mind, body, and soul, all the things, how we are doing, we take ourselves with us wherever we go, right? So we really set the stage for every environment that we show up in. So sorry for my hesitation there. Just wanted to share out in a few places, and I will share out more when we are done. There she is. Were your ears ringing? Miss Iona Mead. She says, "Hey, beautiful. Hi, Iona." So it's funny, I really was thinking about environmental freedom a lot today because outside of the me, outside of that part within, spent some time in a garden with Miss Melanie. So that was really nice. Like I was just thinking of the environment and the weather was beautiful and just really basking in that time together, right? That relationship with my granddaughter and having that time in the garden, working on some of her home education, and it's just been kind of lovely, like a quote unquote busy day, but not like a mindless busy, a very purposeful, intentional busy day. It's been beautiful. Hannah says, "Yep." Were they? Ears were ringing. Good. That's fantastic. Got that connection, right? Even though we haven't talked in a little bit today, because like I said, I was taking care of some other things and we're still on it. And it says, "Yay, the garden on the vision board." It is too, huh? Did I already send? I have more pictures to send, by the way. I just haven't done it yet. I think I have one more to take. I have like a itty bitty butternut squash. I accidentally snagged the vine when I was clearing it up. It might be okay. I don't know, but it's so small. It's funny. Yeah, it's all good though. Definitely on it. Heck yeah. Absolutely. So, as far as content, to be honest, I don't have a lot today, but I still wanted to show up because, regardless, as we start to talk about a little bit, things usually drop in. So, I'm just going to be open for that space, right? Allowing the space and the environment where we are right now in this present moment to just allow whatever needs to come in to come in. So, it's all good. I haven't seen any pics yet. Okay, I couldn't remember if I sent one yet or not. I took it, I just haven't sent it. I already took one. I have to take another one so you can see both. Yeah, garden in the weeds. So we do that within too, right? We have to pluck our own weeds sometimes to keep our own garden clean and um, what's the word I'm looking for? Just well managed, taken care of, right? Watering our own garden, if you will, tending to our own garden, if you will, that inner environment and our outer. Iona says heart fueling high vibes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, forgiveness, do you find that when you check in with yourself, is there anything that lingers for you that you need to release? Do you notice any resentments? Do you notice any blame, shame, or guilt? Do you notice any type of those blocks, those mental blocks, those emotional blocks, those energetic blocks that we need to release? Because the heart space is that space for transformation, right? So when we show up in that space of love, when we show up in that space of forgiveness, even if we're just allowing the forgiveness to occur, then we can transform, transmute whatever icky, gross, gunky energy that we want to let go of and pivot up into that higher vibrational energy, right? Iona says, ease, grace, and flow. My granddaughter's blowing me kisses over there. Iona says, our choice to be in garden. Yeah. In daytime and school at home is massive freedom. We forget. Very good point. Very, very good point. So it's a very, as you would say, maybe a productive day. And allowing, again, that time and having that space and, it builds the relationship. Not having that stress allows us to be in a space to learn more even, right? So for my granddaughter, she amazes me, I'm not gonna lie. she's so willing to pick up her books and to get started reading and to get some work done and then to share it. And then even just in conversations, right? Because when we educate at home, we can learn in different ways. It doesn't all have to be book based. So having conversation, I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, she was reading the label. Just an example, I'm just going to share it. She was reading a label on her cranberry juice bottle, right? And since she sees my mom and I paying attention to and counting like sodium and sugars and things, she was reading that bottle, right? So, however many grams of sodium and then how many grams of sugar. And I asked her about the serving size so she could tell me what the serving size was, and then she was able to do the multiplication and figure out, what then the total amount of sodium and sugar would be for the whole bottle itself, since there was like 3 servings per bottle or whatever. But even just that little conversation, it allows you to see in it, and you can see them then apply it in their own life, right? It's just cool. I love that I can be the witness to it, that we're close enough that I can share that time with her, and not only in the teaching part, but again, to be the witness to see her growth and to see her little wheels turn and watch her figure stuff out and problem solve and apply in quote unquote like real life situations, right? Not just like memorize and regurgitate. That's part of learning. I get it. But to actually apply what she knows is amazing. I love it. Nona says, "Oh, I know, right?" Same with the weeds and the planting and the seeds. Like that's always a big conversation that we have. It's in her science book still. So for her age group, like that's a common thing. And then to be able to go out in the garden and really see how it works, how it takes place, what it all means, it's cool. And Nona says, "Oh my God, no way, I know, right?" I love doing that with my kids when I was homeschool. Yeah, right, homeschooling. It is legacy, isn't it? It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. Pass on positive. Right. It took me a second. Pass on the positive, exactly, and not the trauma. Breaking those old cycles, right? For sure. Part of that transformation, clearing out the old stuff, healing from the old past traumas, and being able to transform, transmute that to a new experience for the next generations, right? So even though maybe I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but no blame, shame, and guilt. It's part of the process with my own kiddos when they were younger. They're still able to heal and clear some of theirs, and then, right, their kids, they get to teach them differently. It is a beautiful process. And forgiving self, because I have had to forgive myself, right? Whether it was quote unquote legitimate or justified blame, shame, and guilt, I blame, shame, and guilted myself for being too busy, for getting wrapped up in trying to be a single mom and work and go to school and, my kids and, excuse me, not having the time that I wanted to have with them. And I can remember one year when my oldest boy was in football and just the schedule of the games and such in my school schedule, I couldn't go. Like I went to one, I don't know if it was a game or a scrimmage on a Saturday morning. I literally skipped school. Like it's like I'm not coming. My son's, I think it was his first game. I'm like, I'm not coming. I'm gonna go to my son's football game. And they're like, but school, no, I'm not coming. And like I gave so much of my time and energy to going to school. And the real joy then is to not even be using what my career in that way anymore, right? So a lot of like processes and forgiveness for myself for not showing up more as the mom, right? Those different roles that we have. So not showing up more in the mom role that I wanted to, or having so much stress to try to manage through that I didn't break those cycles for my kids when I wanted to. Like this is all in in reflection. Don't always notice those things in the beginning because of the intent you think is good. I'm going to teach my kids that if you quote unquote work hard, right? Money blocks. We talk about these in the money blocks clearing challenge, don't we? If you work hard, then A, B, and C, like you're going to be so successful and you're going to be able to provide more for your family. And it's like, I call BS on all of that. Okay. Just saying, because it did not work out that way for me at all. Exactly. You get with, yeah, it's like a do-over with your grandkids, isn't it? In a sense, right? That like Iona says, "Oh my God, work hard." Yes, with one of those faces like, no, no, because it's not true. Not that it's not true, but it's not always true or not always true in the way that it's taught. Let me say it that way, because it does take effort, of course. But the idea of what work hard actually means to be successful versus what I understood work hard to mean, which just was stressful, not successful, right? But I wasn't, again, a definition, how we define success. It's not that I wasn't successful at all, just not in the ways I had in mind, not how I intended, right? Like I didn't even do the math right. Here I was thinking that once I graduated college, I would have a career, right? Because I'd have my degree and get my license and have a career to provide more for my kids. Well, hello, by the time I finished college, they were graduating too. Like, well, that didn't work out. So now I'm done with college and I just have a bunch of student loan debt to pay back. That's cool. Work hard. Work hard, they say. I'm laughing now. It's not funny, but it's really just breaking cycles and changing our mindsets and our focus and our vision and our mission and how we want to show up and actually do it, right? In ways that leave the legacy, as Iona says and teaches, and not, yeah, I got it twisted. I'm just saying I was twisted. Yep, not at all. Did not work for me. Yeah, work like a dog. Yeah, I did all that, right? Just to go in debt, be stressed and go in debt. True. I'm glad you're laughing with me. Thank you. Because, I mean, what can I do but laugh now? But there are choices that we get to make, right? So, and it really is a perfect conversation for the heart chakra because it is the space for transformation. So some people think that I'm literally lost my mind, I think, because I let my social work license go. Like, why would you do all that work and pay all that money and go to school? Like all those questions of the work hard and the typical cycles and blah, 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 just to, right, let it go. Because I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. It's what I would have to do to be quote unquote financially successful utilizing that degree or that license would take away, right? Would take away the time and the freedom to truly leave a legacy, ooh, that might actually make me cry, to truly build the relationships that I want to build with my granddaughter and still with my kids, right? With my grandson, helping my mom, right? I wouldn't be able to show up in the same way as I can right now. Is it challenging sometimes? Sure, it is. But also building my business, right, with integrity to leave that legacy and how much more I can do, as Iona teaches, with that light work and lifestyle balance, right? It doesn't have to be all one or the other, which is what I learned when I was going to school and trying to work and raise my kids. It was one or the other. I wasn't getting it all. It was done in a way that I couldn't get it all, right? I was just trapped in the rat race kind of thing. Whereas this model does offer that freedom, and that's true transformation. That's what I want to do. That's more important to me, right? The family, for sure, family first. The legacy, which starts with family, and we share that outward with even myself, taking care of myself, right? It's massive. Iona says, Miss Mel is watching you work. She does too, because I don't know if I shared it. But when I first got like my green screen and I was working on backgrounds, and I didn't realize that like my equipment, and I think that's part of it, my equipment and how it works or whatever with all these things, like, I don't know. I don't think I have the right equipment to get the right kind of picture that I wanted from it. To me, it just didn't seem right. But which is fine because authentic all the way. I love that anyways. But point being, she drew a picture of me and she created a background that would be used for a green screen. And there's like a sun, right? The sun's rising back there. Are those mountains I see? Waves. I'm sorry. Waves. Was that at the beach? That's right. I'm sorry because I didn't see the sand right there. Okay. So she's got a whole picture of the sun rising and the waves, and then we're at the beach, or I'm at the beach. That's what it looks like, right? That she drew that. But that's what she does see. She does see for sure. I'm I won't say that one out loud, Diana, but if you're watching the video, you can all read that yourself. That's so funny. I know, right? It's a crack up, man. I wasn't feeling it either, right? It's just not. So I think it's really great that we we really make those hard decisions. Let's give us the credit we deserve on that, right? Because making those decisions isn't easy. And it's not an instant quote unquote success, right? But the freedom that it brings is just amazing to really break through. And you want to talk about breaking through a matrix, that that is part of it. You know, we have that false sense of safety and security, and it's not even accurate. It's not even true. I'm done with that. Working environment for sure. Like, look where I'm at. I'm at my mom's in the bedroom, created this little corner space to hop on and do lives. I think it looks okay for the background, right? Freedom. And while I'm doing this, Miss Mel is taking a break and having some tablet time, but she also has learning games on her tablet. And before she got on her tablet, she worked in her workbook some more. And before that, again, we were in the gardening, right? So that is freedom. It's a working environment with the lifestyle and freedom. Can still show up here, right? Can still provide content, can still have a conversation, can still be supportive. Absolutely. Boom, balance. Absolutely. They are massive, Ionis's values, and they are so massive, aren't they? They drive us and sometimes halt us. Like it is the value sometimes, like that inner compass or that part of us that's like, no, this is not okay. I am not okay with this. And why am I not okay with this? Because my values are not in alignment, right? And being in that trap I was in before, my values weren't in alignment and I was burnt the heck out and I was stressed the heck out. And some of that is to be saved for my story of my one of my spiritual awakenings. So I mean it was deep stuff, right, you guys? Deep stuff. But I didn't know how to get out of it at the time. And the ideas I have had to get out of it weren't the idea that we want to have, right? So again, spiritual awakening story to be shared at another time. Iona says beach baby. I know, right? The decision was hard. It was. Many of these decisions are difficult and challenging, right? That. Yep. Oh, yes. Done. Check. Done with that. Absolutely. All for the freedom, baby. Iona says soul GPS. I like that. For reals, right? What direction are we going? Let's get it lined up. Lined up and move, right? Got our compass out. I like it. Soul legacy wheel. Excuse me. I feel like that was enough. So forgiving self for choices that we make, some of the hard choices, or some of the choices that we just thought were right at the time, because I was doing what I was taught was right. I was taught that's how you had to do it, and that's how it works. And to be a good mom and in a sense, dad, because you know, when you're a single parent, whether you're the mom or the dad, you take on both roles, right? When you're the single parent. So you have to show up as the nurturing mom, and then you have to show up as the um, financial provider and the protector and all the things that would fall under the dad. And I'm not trying to get into, you know, gender discussions, but in a sense, that's how we historically have viewed them, that masculine side of us does this and then the feminine does that. And when you're a single parent, you don't get to share those or split them. You get to do them all and figure it out. And that's okay. We do it. We do it, but it makes it challenging to combine them, right? It makes it challenging when you're in that world, when you're in, if you want to call it the matrix, the quote unquote normal system in our society, that type of trap, if you will, then it becomes that challenge. Whereas when you find a model like Iona has created that does allow for that freedom, you can offer both, and then you can have more of a balance in that situation. It doesn't have to be the trap. You don't have to be on the hamster wheel. You don't have to be beating yourself up and all the things. Iona says, yay. Homework, thank you. Yes. Aware, assess, and aligned. Boom. Exactly. Thank you. So, homework for today, do the check in, right? As always, we check in with ourselves so we can be aware of what's going on, assess where we're at. So, be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware of, are you blaming yourself for anything? Do you notice any blame, shame, or guilt, any resentments going on? Or do you feel good? Do you feel aligned? Do you feel like you're in flow and everything's going well? Do you have those struggles? Do you have that stress of trying to get it all done, or having that stress of trying to quote unquote do it right, right? To fit into society, or to quote unquote work hard, but it's just stressing you out and you're beating your head on a wall, right? So if you have the stress like I did, and you have the resentments and the blame, shame, and guilt, or you feel like you're running in circles and going nowhere and not really figuring out how to make all ends meet, or having the freedom to fit in all the roles that you need to take care of, then please check the links, get on our calls, hop in our groups, sign up. We got you. We've been there, literally, literally. So we got you. So do that check in if you're comfortable. Drop them in the comments. Share with us. Let us know where you're at, what came into your awareness, or what your next action step is to get into alignment. Or if you have questions about what we're doing and how we do it, absolutely ask, right? Or if you want to know how to get in contact with us more, you can also ask that as well, and we'll get you set up. I think that's it. Am I forgetting anything, Iona? I talked about the forgiveness. Space for transformation is forgiving self, right? And others or society. Sometimes we just blame the system, right? But we get to choose whether we realize it and feel it or not. We do get to choose. We just have to find the way that allows us to feel comfortable enough, or to have enough faith to make that step. Because sometimes it is just that leap of faith, literally. Um, yeah. Iona says, love you billions. Thanks, love. I love you billions too. Thanks for being here. We are done. Check. Perfect. Great. So thanks for being on a live with me. Thanks for everyone who's hopped in and watched silently or comes back for the replay. I appreciate you as well. Love you bunches. See you tomorrow for communication, speaking your truth, and the throat chakra. So much love. Bye, guys.